Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Leeds are shit.
We're recording, you know.
Oh, shit.
We had a good start. I don't think we've got the personnel.
You can fucking laugh all you want, you absolute bellend.
I think about things, that's why you lot are idiots.
A melted version of a dick that's been shrink wrapped.
The absolute elite shithousery of this.
Well, hey, you think I'm not a technical genius, but I just managed to get the intro to play without us even having to press it. So look, hey, who's the technical genius and who's not really? Not me, because I've been trying to get this video sorted for the last about as long as Jay's trying to get his computer started. Apparently, so we are short tonight, and we'd be even shorter if Jay was here. But
vertically challenged.
How we doing, Smarty?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm not too bad, mate. Do you know what? I thought Friday would have bothered me more, and I think it probably should have done. And I almost feel a little bit rebellious that it doesn't bother me as much as it should. Really? Yeah, because I mean, I know you and I haven't had a chance to speak. I think it was the wee man and the poltergeist who did Brad go. Yeah, I mean, why don't you and I have a bit of a chat about Friday night? How do you feel? Did you get over it quite quickly, or were you pretty? I mean, obviously we were angry, but how long did it take to get over it? And
I mean, you could kind of look at it in two different parts, can't you? On the first hand, you know, being a really, really good performance away from home, and thinking we've done really well to get 3 points here. And then on the other hand, given the last 30 seconds, and it just going to absolute rat shit, and me sitting in the car because I was watching it on the way down to Wales, so watching it on my iPad. Got there with about 10 minutes to spare, so I was watching it in the car on my own, and then I must have been in there another 10 minutes afterwards with just my head in my hands, just thinking, what on earth have I just witnessed? I think we'll come to that, but initially I think, you know, we should cover the game and just say how much of a great performance the boys put on before the absolute clusterfuck that is Ilan Meslier.
I think you're quite right there in that. I mean, you can look at it on the whole as an evening that we absolutely outplayed, top of the league on their own park, and deserved much more than a point there at the Stadium of Light. And
yes.
And ultimately, like, if that's the worst, and even Burnley are going to be right up there. Even though we lost to Burnley, if that's the worst we're going to face, the best, and the toughest we're going to face all season, it's looking quite promising, isn't it? I mean, on the basis of the football we're playing and the players we've got or not got, based on obviously a lot of injuries and things, but it doesn't feel like there's many good sides in this league this year. And I know people are saying it's the worst people say every year it's the worst championship for years. Why we should be winning it by 50 points, but it does feel like it is a very, very weak championship in terms of certainly the top. There'll be a group of teams in and around at the top that we expect. You West Broms, Sunderland, Burnley, probably Sheffield United, and one or two others, but they do feel much weaker than previous days. And I don't know if that's because we feel so much better or what, but what are your thoughts on that in terms of the league itself?
I think if you compare it, and rightly so, to last year, you know, at this point, I think Leicester had 21, 24 points or something similar like that. They were absolutely miles ahead at this point, you know, already. You know, the gulf.
League at this stage, I think.
Yeah, that's what I said, Leicester.
No, Preston.
Oh, Preston. Oh, no, I don't think. I think initially they were for a few weeks, weren't they? Like 3 or 4 weeks, and then they kind of went. But Leicester at this point were like 20. I think they played 9, won 8, drawn 1, perhaps. Anyway, the gulf in the teams last year to this, you know, is massive. I expected more from Luton. Sheffield United are probably there or thereabouts, but yeah, there's no real pace setters at the minute. It's kind of all intermingled or whatever. So, but every team that we've come up against, intermingled, yeah. Every team that we've played so far, we've played the majority of the top 6 now. I've not really seen anything that I think we should be scared of. You know, teams that have come toe to toe with us have usually, you know, got on the wrong side of us and suffered a defeat or a draw. There isn't a team that's bettered us, even obviously given the fact that Burnley did beat us. It was from a mistake and they parked the bus the whole game. It's not something really to be too scared of, I would have thought. So, yeah, so far so good. I'm kind of glad that we're not top of the league, if I'm honest, because, you know, I called it last year. I says as soon as we get to the top of the league, which we did very, very briefly, we shit as pants and it all went to absolute rat shit. So,
that's a great point. We were 9th at this stage last season. We're currently
yeah. Oh, we're much better this. We're a much better rounded team this year. We're much better this year.
I think so. Just let's go back to the performance. 1-0 down, you'd have took a draw, wouldn't you? We're going 1-0 down and you know, expecting to have probably a tougher game up there, having played in Norwich on the Tuesday, lots of travelling, two away games, Coventry at home on the Saturday before.
Yeah.
You know, we've done a fair bit of travelling. So going 1-0 down, I mean, the majority of people, from our perspective, thought we were going to lose or draw. So that sort of shows what we were in terms of confidence between us as a group. And I think when you go 1-0 down, I think you're probably happy to come away with a point there. Now, unfortunately, I was already writing my tweets, you know, fucking how great we were, and it was 2-1 up, and then obviously calamity, and you know, it struck, and we ended up sharing the spoils with them. But let's go back to the performance. Do you think Farke has probably proven some people wrong in terms of his being tactically inept over the last couple of games?
Yes, I would say so. The squad rotation, well, I suppose you can not really nail that to the coffin, I suppose, with saying squad rotation, because there isn't much of a squad left. But I think it's quite evident this season that he's changing tactically, and we're setting up better against, you know, these kind of defensive teams and stuff. And like, you know, you've already said, you know, going 1-0 down, I think in hindsight, given that we were 2-1 up, you know, really up until the 96th minute, a lot of people would have said, "Oh, would have taken a draw? You know, we were expecting to lose," because in the first 20 minutes or so, they were really on top. You know, they played really well. They came at us and they were quite swashbuckling, I will say.
Swashbuckling, like little
swashbuckling. Yeah,
pirate.
I think that they were coming at us, and you don't see it often in this league. So fair play to them. But at no point did I think, "Oh, that's it, we're done," because they didn't score and then sit back like Burnley did. They kept coming. They kept coming at us. So we're like, all right, so they want to make a game of this. And I thought, as long as they're doing that, we've got more than a chance of getting back into this match, which evidently we did. A little person's appeared out of nowhere.
It's like Pokemon.
I've got this shit working.
You've got to catch him all. Start throwing balls at him.
A Jigglypuff appeared.
I don't want you to.
Jigglypuff.
How are we doing anyway? What does that T-shirt say tonight? I'm intrigued.
Ray Ripley. She's my mammy.
She's my what? Oh, Christ.
Jesus.
You're the type of person that I would expect to have like a T-shirt saying two-seater, like with an arrow pointing up and an arrow pointing down. You're the guy that then people sell.
Yeah, but you're the guy who wears a shirt that says "Smile if you're not wearing knickers."
I would say so.
I think Jay, you are literally that guy that buys those T-shirts online, aren't you?
I bet you've got one of them flame shirts. You remember them flame shirts from like late 90s? That's him. That is you, 100%.
Never owned one of them. Never. Although I did have one with the gold. I did have one with the gold dragon on it that were black.
Oh fucking hell, that's as bad.
I were about fucking 17, mate.
No. Oh.
Jay, I know you've already had a chance to speak to Carl, but just give us a little bit of it for those that haven't seen it. Give us a little bit of your views on Friday night. Miss out the Meslier bits. We'll come on to that in a little bit.
I mean, I was disappointed, obviously, with how it ended, but I felt overall it was a decent performance because we started off under the cosh for 15 minutes. We went behind. We came back into the game. We took over the game for me for the majority of the sort of middle period, and then we'd basically got the job done. We'd gone there, we'd shown that we could come back, we'd shown fighting spirit, everything I want to see from a Leeds team, really. And to say that midfield was starting together for the first time, I thought they did brilliantly. I liked the fact that Rothwell were quite dynamic. He was trying to get forward, he was trying to have a shot, not saying he's best midfielder in league or anything, but we could do a lot worse than having him in there. But yeah, I felt we effectively won the game. We effectively beat top of the league. We stood up to and passed the test. And for me, gutted how it ended, but the performance itself were what I wanted, and I were plenty encouraged.
Ooh. Encouraged, were we?
Very encouraged, mate, yeah.
I like
Very
it.
encouraged.
I'm glad you mentioned Rothwell, because he's worthy of a mention. He had a great performance. He's very tidy, isn't he? He's like a better Adam Forshaw that's not as broken so far.
Absolutely.
Touch wood.
Just a moment ago, I asked Smarty in regards, because I can still see Bryn chinning off in the comments about it being far. You know what he's like. Once he gets a bee in his bonnet, you're not gonna convince him, the big Doyle and the big Goomba. So he's, you know what I mean. So
you'll get no change out of him.
Do you think that would have been the perfect away performance minus the last 30 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever it was? I mean, how can you blame Daniel Farke for being, or how can you say it's tactically inept when you go to top of the league, put a performance like that in, and ultimately drop 2 points simply because of one clanger? You know, I find it very difficult.
Well, yeah, no, I agree with you on that. It's like all this sort of Farke out business and calling him tactically inept. We'd won the game. He'd done his job. You can't account for a crazy individual error like that. You just can't. You can't hold that against the manager. He said, "Oh well, we shouldn't have picked him." Who else are you going to put in that's going to do better? Seriously,
have people actually been saying that, or is that something you just said? Because that's
definitely
ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
We'll come on to that because we'll do a whole segment on that in a minute, in a bit. Smarty. I mean, for me, I felt we were very good. I thought the performance at Norwich was quite good as well. I thought we probably deserved a bit more out of that.
Showed good character to come back into the game after going down.
We're unbeaten on the road against
Twice
West Brom, Norwich, and Sunderland. There are going to be three teams that are going to be up there this season. They will be up in that probably top six or flirting with the playoffs as well. So I think, and ultimately, I think we probably could have had 6 or 7 points out of those 3 games. Sorry,
agreed.
There were people saying if we didn't get 9 points or 12 points out of the last 4, that Farke deserved to be sacked.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. It's just fickleness, isn't it?
I think half of our fan base are on some sort of strong medication because I don't know what on earth is happening here.
We
have an onion.
He's not realised I'm on.
We have an onion in our midst.
He's not realised I'm here.
Wait, come on then, show your face. Come on then, show your face.
Again.
Show yourself. Fucking hell!
I'm gonna play you a video.
It looks like Bruce Almighty coming live from Niagara Falls, doesn't he, with that fucking hat and that shirt on with his little yellow cagoule. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
Anyway, cheers for that. He's coming to sort the video out.
Who is it?
I was just about, yeah.
I was doing that.
Do you know what? You're all too helpful. Like, honestly,
I know.
It's so helpful. You just, we can't do enough for each other as lot, can we? Even though, like,
that's
you could all get fucked. I could just about turn this bastard thing on.
Yeah, when Gilly came in, then I was going to do a wild Bulbasaur appeared.
Pikachu.
Anyway, enough about Pokemon because that's almost as gay as Jay like in wrestling.
That thing you wanted uploaded is uploaded according to the brand. You're welcome.
I take it all back, Jay. I take it all back.
Welcome,
man.
You big galoot.
Hey, I tell you what, this new ponytail of him, it's making you're just a better human. You've almost gained an inch.
Man.
You are.
I think so. Right then, let's address the elephant in the room now. Let's move on to that because it is a very, very big elephant in a very, very small room. 2-1. I'd already written my tweet to all these Sunderland fans who've been giving me shit, ready to fucking give them some right stick online, and I sort of reined that in for obvious reasons. What do we actually make of the incident? Because I still think there's more to it. Did you see, actually, before we come on to that, they went... No, forget that. It was a different game. It was Josh Sargent's penalty that moved. It wasn't a Sunderland player's penalty that moved. But do you think there's more to it? Because Firpo storming off down the tunnel, it's gone down as a Firpo own goal. It's
never.
What?
Yeah,
Yes,
I didn't even realise that. Scored at both ends.
Look, he still should have been saving it. Let's not make it any excuse for that. We all know that he should have been saving that. It's bread and butter for a goalkeeper ultimately. But what are your thoughts on it, Smarty? What went wrong? Other than he didn't catch it, it went in the goal.
Everything.
Where do you begin? He's a stupid, silly boy. I can see what he was trying to do as well. You can see the way he's shaped up to catch that ball. A lot of people have said he seems to have looked or glanced to his side and he's lost sight of it. It's hit something and kind of like blindsided him. I'm not too convinced. You can see the way that he's shaping up. He's absolutely 100% doing a Jordan Pickford. He's 1,000,000%. He's just going to take it into his body and just do the whole lay down on the floor thing and, stay there for a few seconds, do a bit of time wasting, whatever else. What has happened there is a complete and utter clusterfuck, and I still can't get my head around it because I'm sorry. The guy's got nearly 200 first team appearances for Leeds United. It's not like he's I've seen arguments for him saying, "Oh well, he's bored because he's not doing the right lot and this, that, and the other." I'm like, fucking come on, man. He plays football all his life. He plays football every single day, every week of the year, apart from maybe a couple of weeks through summer. The guy plays more football in a week than probably most of us do in a fucking year. But you're telling me he's slightly off, he's slightly cold because he didn't have a lot to do. It's an absolute clusterfuck, man. The guy's a professional fucking footballer. Why? I just couldn't get. I really just couldn't get my head around it. Like I say, I had my head in my hands for a good 10 minutes, thinking, what on earth? I wasn't even looking, reviewing my own life choices at this point. Is it something I've done? Have I done something wrong in life to deserve this? What the fuck is going on? Exactly. Was I a bad person in a previous life? What the fuck have I done, honestly, to deserve this? I just can't get my head around it. It's just absolute shite is what it is, and the guy deserves to be fucking tar and feathered as far as I'm concerned.
Jay.
However, I will say that... Sorry. I will just say that all the death threats and all the shit that's come his way, I do not agree with, by the way. That's fucking out of order, but I'm sure we'll cover that in a little bit. What the fuck's going on with my lights? Stop it.
Jay, what... So,
paid electricity bill.
Seeing as Smarty didn't answer my question, what went wrong?
Go on.
It's a shit bastard, that's what went wrong. It's Fark's fault for playing him. I'm all joking.
I'll be completely honest, and I still don't really understand what went wrong. Like... I still can't tell that it bounces funny. For me, it just looks a bit routine. People are saying, "Oh, it veers one way, it veers the other." Maybe so. I didn't see a massive deviation myself, so I find it all quite puzzling. I may not have watched a decent video of it, but I just couldn't rewatch it multiple times. I had a look at it on the pod, and I was like, "That's it for me. I'm not watching that ever again." So it just he should have saved it. Like Smarty said, he's experienced enough to know what he's doing. It's routine. He's going to feel a knobhead about it. Of course he is. But, it's just one of them things. It happens, and it's bullshit that it's happened to us again.
He's not the first goalkeeper to ever do it. There's lots of famous goalkeepers. Dida, against us for AC Milan when he spilled it. We've had Tim Flowers where it bobbles off the floor and goes over him. We've, in fact, I think Nigel Martin or Paul Robinson did it in Europe for us as well, very similarly.
Robbo, I think.
It was Robbo, was it?
Green had one go through his legs for England as well, didn't he? I see, but the thing is, it's an isolated incident typically. One keeper will make a mistake like that on the enormous fucking scale of that will be. Maybe once. No, I'm not saying he has. I'm not saying it on that enormous scale. I'm not saying that he has, but there have been quite a few mistakes or iffy performances throughout his tenure at Leeds where I just think, fucking hell, that's shite. But then again, we haven't really been blessed with great goalkeepers for a long time. So it's just...
I mean, Sullivan was all right. I think probably one of our all right ones most recently.
Well, that's probably arguable.
But that's League One days, do you know what I mean? So we're talking realistic. We are talking Robbo and Martin since we had a good goalkeeper,
Someone...
But we were playing at better standard there. What goalkeepers are we going to get at this level that... I
thought Rob Green were good, mate. I thought Rob Green was a great keeper. Yeah. Even though he flapped against QPR, I think it was in one of the first games of the season. He made a right melt out of himself and they scored from it.
Someone told me, I can't remember who it was. Someone told me we ain't had a good keeper since Casper Ankergren, and I was like, what? I didn't think he were that great.
Well,
And that were at League One level.
There's been some comments on it here. Steve Brown says that Jez put a stream out earlier, clearly showing there was something on the pitch. Not an excuse, but he still needs to capture it. So, ironically, I've heard that it was actually something from the physio's bag from when he went down
in Newcastle
and knocked in the head, or it was one of the sprinklers.
Sprinkler. I've heard both of those, yeah.
But we'll never know. And
it's not a sprinkler, it's some sort of fucking strap or something that's on field.
Yeah, I thought that. So, yeah, that was Steve. Thank you, Steve. Blaze
But
Rays,
even still.
serious question. Do we think he's hiding eye problems from staff at the club? I think he'd be tested on them money.
Eye problems?
I
hope to Christ, Ray, that you're not trying to make excuses for this shit. I mean, fucking Stevie fucking Wonder could have saved that, for Christ's sake.
I don't think
he's got eye problems.
He won't be doing all them punches that he does instead of catching.
I think what Ray's trying to say is actually, there's a lot of questionable decisions made by him as a goalkeeper. Is that something? But I think the club would be on that in a second. I don't think anything untoward there.
Come out with them like Jam Jar Gems art and start of every match, like walking about like fucking walking around like Zorro.
I thought this, by the way.
Mark Wright made a good point here. It shouldn't have got anywhere near the keeper. 2 challenges before, and we should have. This ball. I mean, that's not an excuse. He should be catching it. We're not here to make excuses. It was awful, but ultimately, the ball should not have got into the area from that position. It was a stupid free kick to give away, and the 2 balls in the air should have been won. Simple as that.
It was just a sequence of errors, wasn't it?
It was a nod down and a shanked cross that went in, and that's literally it, isn't it?
Skip's saying here, by the way, when he's got his head injury, it was the opposite side of the pitch. I thought it was the other side of the box. I thought it was the other side of the goal.
Oh, right. So the other side of the area. That doesn't mean something hasn't fallen out the strapping on the way back.
No, it don't, obviously. But I'm sure it was like this side where they would have come from. So I don't fucking know. No, it was the other side. Like, because he had the head injury at like the near post.
They've been catching balls all night, man.
He got the head injury at the near post.
He had a right game.
He had a great game. He had a really, really good game. And then he just had an absolute clanger right at end. So this he's half blind and he can't see. I'm not. Come on, man. Fucking floodlights blinding me.
Roland doing well. It was a shame. Convinced he's seen double from getting kicked in the head by Pascal. Look, maybe.
There's no way. He would know.
Honestly, I've been kneed in the head before playing rugby and I have not known where I am. Honestly, and I've just carried on playing.
But I'm not being funny.
What position am I playing? I didn't have a fucking clue. But they should
just hope you're running in the right direction.
I would hope that the Pie and P League that you graced, within whenever you did, would be a little slight different to professional fucking football, though. Yeah. I would hope.
Officiating probably wasn't much different.
No.
Did Mez have a concussion? Possibly. Schmeichel, shout for a good goalkeeper, maybe. You'd take Wiedwald over Meslier. That is a wild shout.
Oh, Skip, come on, man. Come on, man. Fucking Jesus. I'd rather have a bath with a toaster than have that fucker back. Christ.
We're going to have to give you a time-out, Skip, if you start coming out with that kind of try.
No. Nope.
And then our very good friend, White Snake Bites, over in the outback of New Zealand. If they have an outback, I don't think they do. But anyway,
I don't think they do.
It's a lovely place, this New Zealand.
Have you been?
There's nothing can kill you in New Zealand. Well, maybe some sort of machete-wielding idiot, maybe. But, I mean, like, wildlife.
Jake the Muss could.
What?
Jake the Muss.
I don't know who that is. He's like a New Zealand Raoul Moat or something.
He's a New Zealand gangster, hard as shit is. Anyway.
Raoul Moaty.
He says, if nothing to do with an excuse, we would have every goalkeeper in the world making them. Do you know what? I think a lot of goalkeepers have made them.
Yeah, they've made mistakes.
Goalkeepers have got a mistake in them, haven't they? And a wild mistake as well. We've seen all sorts.
They're all eccentrics, aren't they?
We're just a magnet for players making absolute clangers and setting records for being shit.
You know what it is, though? Who grows up wanting to be a goalkeeper? You're either the last picked or you're just the biggest in the team, aren't you?
Honestly, they're like drummers. They're like drummers in bands. They're all a bit weird. It's the way it is.
Yeah, I think you've just insulted
Jay could never be a goalkeeper.
No, it's well known. Absolutely not.
Jay'd be a good hockey keeper. You're the right sort of build for that, and the right height.
Yeah. Can snarl at them.
With big gloves and shit.
He looks like Turtles, doesn't he? What's his name? Cody? Is it Cody something?
With the hockey mask. I know what you mean.
Anyway, fucking shut up.
I know.
Absolute tangents.
So yeah, let's just round that up then. So a shame to drop 2 points, but ultimately before the game and during at 1-0 down, I think we'd all been happy with a point, wouldn't we?
Yeah. So if you're saying Parker out,
I'd have been happy with a point because we were trailing at 1 point. You know, to go ahead and play the way we did is an absolute. Yeah. It feels like a loss. I mean, I'm sure that
that's what I said.
Most people have said.
That's what I said, Smarty. I couldn't like. It felt like after a loss when you can't watch anything to do with Leeds for a bit and you just need to leave it alone. That's how I felt. I was that gutted.
Yeah. Danny Talk Sports said he played in goal because he couldn't be asked to run.
That's fair.
That's fair.
It usually is the fat people. I'm going to throw it out there. It's usually the people that are a bit portly. You know what I mean?
They have a train more that pops up in front of keepers. Even Furpo Tash hovering nearby couldn't stop it.
Tash hovering.
It's just a little black cat in it that just legs it.
But I say, you see these all these nets and shit. We like big fucking, them whack attack things. They're not whack attack things, but you know what I mean. Whack them back in. They've got like them net things with bumps and shit in them where they kick ball at it and it comes off at spurious angles and shit. They train for that sort of shit. Why didn't Why didn't he do like a little chicken wing flap at it when it went past him?
Well, same reason that he didn't just reach out and save that penalty week before.
Yeah.
Fucking mad.
So what? Just to go back anyway. I just want to clear this up. No matter what Meslier has done or what he's what.
Sorry, Danny.
What he said. The death threats thing it's beyond delinquent. It's just stupid, man. Do you know what I mean? We're better than that. And look, he's made a mistake. He's dropped 2 points. He's not killed your kid. He's not smacked your missus around the mouth. Do you know what I mean? It's a mistake, and I think as a club it needs to be left there. I don't think he'll get dropped, and I don't think he should get dropped. But thoughts on that? Do you two think he should be dropped based on that one error? I mean, obviously it's not just the one error. He's made quite a lot of errors over the years, but
not for me. He's got the luxury of not having anyone any better than him behind him.
Yeah.
He's more settled with this defence. He does have clanger, but the whole back unit is working generally.
So Skips actually asked the direct question: if the opportunity arrived to bring in a better goalkeeper in January, would you take it?
Yes.
Of course you would. If they were better.
I've been saying this for the last 2-3 seasons when they were, setting fucking records in the Premier League for being the shittest bastard that's ever graced the frigging thing. And that wasn't solely down to him. Before we go there, I understand that we were
the youngest people with the most clean sheets, though.
Possibly as well.
He did.
There is no happy medium of shit to fucking great sort of performances. It's just a nice fucking. You're either absolutely dog shit or really really good. But yeah, the defense in the Premier League didn't help him at all, did we? We had the warrior princess Verba and the little Viking kitten sugar fairy dust boy. Fucking Christensen, etc. The list goes on.
I will just say, Skip, if you offered me the opportunity to bring in a better player than anybody in any position, I'd say yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course you would. One thing I will say about Meslier, right, is that in one-on-one situations, I would back him to the hilt because in that sort of position, in that situation, Meslier is brilliant. Brilliant on one-on-ones. Just shit for the rest.
But although we've already said he was good at the rest at the weekend, bar that one fucking.
He did alright, yeah. He even came up and started catching stuff,
balls left, right, and centre.
Which is mental when you actually when you're talking about a keeper, thinking, "Oh fucking hell, he's actually caught a ball." That's something that you typically think is at the forefront of a skill set required for a keeper is to be able to catch the round thing that's travelling towards you at a many rate of miles per hour. But it eludes our French baguette eating wonder.
He just hates the ball. That's why he punches it so much. He's just angry.
Keepers.
I don't mind that punching me as long as he gets it fucking out. I honestly don't mind, but I'd prefer him to catch it. But if he can't catch it or he feels too much under pressure to catch it, then fucking give it the old Mike Tyson. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but not every time.
And
when you can catch it, catch it.
Nige makes a bit of a conflicting argument here, and this is very easy to say in hindsight, by the way. Because we don't know who would have brought in, and with the backup that we got in Darlow and Cairns, who was only here for a quarter role, basically, because he was, home. What is it? Home coached or
come coached?
Home coached or what?
Come coached? Is that what you do? Home and fuck all.
Homegrown. You come yours for your arsehole.
Woo!
Knight says
Fucking Jay does.
Should have moved on Meslier from our relegation. They need to get another quality goalkeeper in January. If he stays, Meslier needs competition and pushing anyway. I think that's fair, actually. When I first read it, I just read the first sentence, and he should have moved after our relegation. It's very difficult, and it's very easy to say now that he should have moved. But he has made some important saves from us as well, and it's very easy to forget. Very similar to Patrick Bamford has scored some important goals and some good goals for us. Everybody forgets all that because they think of the reactive to the most recent bit of shit. And how shit they've been. That actually, it's quite easy to forget that he has broken the record in the Premier League for being the youngest goalie with the most clean sheets, and that save at Leicester and a few others that I can remember.
You're only as good as your last mistake, though.
Exactly. That's what I mean. That's my argument. And Paul Brennan highlights it there. Honestly, Patrick has got the same abuse. It's not on. We all make mistakes, and when you watch it, there's something in the park. I think Daniel Fight will pick him up again, and he was genuinely upset. Right, just on that genuinely upset bit. Of course he's upset. Of course he's angry. Of course he's going to be pissed off. What did you two make about the immediate afterwards, going up on the pitch with Sky cameras, having a laugh with his old mate?
I don't know whether you're having a laugh. Go on, Jay. You can go. Ponytail first.
I was just going to say I didn't like it. It didn't sit right with me. On the flip side, I sympathise with him. I mean, what's he going to do? He's probably embarrassed to fuck, and might have been nice to see a friendly face. I don't know. Somebody that he knows. I don't know. You don't know how you're going to react in a high pressure, high stress situation, but it didn't look quite right. The optics weren't right for me.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit, really.
I didn't.
I mean, I can see why people get pissed off and understand, but he must have been or felt very awkward, going up to his ex-coach going, oh, fucking, yeah, that was shit, wasn't it? Yeah, mate, seen a bit, fuck's sake. Water top. We've all been in that situation where you've been pissed off or you've made a mistake and you've just laughed it off. Especially to someone that you know quite well as he does. You can't not take the human element out of any sort of situation, and I think that's what a lot of people do instantly. They just think, oh, you're a wanker, look at you, you're laughing. He's not laughing. Yeah. He's going to be, obviously, I mean, you could see on his face the second it went in, he would distraught. He was like, holy shit, what has just happened? Yeah. You could see it in his face. It's a mistake, and there isn't a better keeper within our team. He cannot be dropped. I don't think he will be. He's blind, lad. Give him a break. Yeah, exactly. He's blind. Can't take piss out of a disabled person. Yeah, I think. Yeah, he's made a mistake. Yes, he's not the best keeper in the world, but we've got to get behind him. I think, and I don't think that the people in the stadium will do anyway. It's only the fucking idiots that are on Twitter that give it, the viritol, etc.
I didn't see it. I'd already turned the telly off and smashed my telly up and kicked.
Yeah, I was already looking for a fight in Wales.
Yeah,
put him up.
But I didn't. When I look back at it, his old coach was probably going, I didn't teach you to do that, or something. Had a joke with him, and he's just like,
I probably said, no, thanks for that, or something like that. And he's going, oh, yeah, you're a prick, fuck you.
Yeah,
and he's walked off.
We only see that snapshot, don't we? And everyone's judging him on that one snapshot, and it's not ideal. It's not ideal. You know what I mean? But it's happened. And I think, as you rightly say, Smite, I think we need to get over it. And the sooner we get over it and move on, then, the sooner we can move on. He will make some important saves this season and he will make some more mistakes. But there's not a player on that field that's played for Leeds United ever that's never made a mistake.
At the end of the day, if he's going to be dropped, right, and I'm just going in on... No, I'm not going in on Simon, or should I say, I'm going on Simon's comment that he's made. Simon says, hey, can I be dropped? That sums up the issue. Yes, but the thing is, every time Carl Darlow comes on the pitch, he's been very average to poor. He does not fill me with confidence at all. The last frigging performance that we saw was the 3-0 drubbing against Middlesbrough. Granted that the whole team were absolute shit on the day, but he didn't even get anywhere near some of them shots. You know what I mean? I don't fancy Carl Darlow. Yeah, it's a shame that we don't have anyone better, but
Not what I heard.
Nah. Anyway, Dave Rowson thinks he was laughing because the little fella was tickling him. Let's leave
it
at that, because that's quite a good answer. Right, let's move.
Tickling his bumhole.
Shall we do the predictions, Jay? I think you've got those.
I just got one more question for you before you do that. Sorry.
Let's not move on. Let's do what's smart.
Just a second. What did you make to Firpo's reaction?
Well, I don't understand if it was because it's come off him and it's come down as a known goal.
Fucking dead right.
Or if he's just fuming that ball's gone in. I don't know. Is he fuming because it's
well, the own goal wasn't given until much later on, so at that point he didn't know that it'd be given. Goal. Yeah, it glanced off him. But that's all it was. It was only a glance. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, take the own goal business out. Because that is what it is, you know. Just going, you know, instinctively on what his reaction to that score or potentially that goal that's gone in, or say maybe to Meslier.
I don't mind. It shows a bit of passion, more energy, more passion.
You love it, don't you, Jay?
Oh, I love it, mate.
See, I'm same. I would be absolutely roasting the shit out of him in changing room. I'd be absolutely going mental. And then you just leave it then. You've had your bollocking. Like I say, I'd be taking piss out of him all week at training, blah, 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 getting into his ribs again. But he knows he'll have made a mistake. Of course he does. But, you know, he needed a bollocking for that, absolutely. You frigging dipstick. What have you done? Blah, blah, blah. And then you move on.
When you think that you've scored the winner, for that to then happen, you just... For me, I can understand it. I'd be fuming too.
Yes.
You just give your heart and soul for that.
I mean, they ultimately grafted their asses off for 90 minutes and ultimately should have come away with the result. Let's move on. We've spent 35 minutes on that now.
Yes.
I thought I was over it. I was up till about 1 o'clock in the morning arguing with people about it as well.
The first thing I didn't do is go on Twitter. I'm like, no.
I've come down to new levels today. I've been arguing in Spanish today on Twitter, and I'll tell you why. We're going to go on to... Actually, let's do the predictions first, Jay. Let's do the predictions really quickly. Give us a quick overall.
Are you going to give me a little graphic or? Come on.
No, because you drum roll to do that.
Oh, for God's sake, mate!
Because you're so well
prepared. No better predictions.
I'm not the one who's driving, pal. Anyway, I'll just give you a brief rundown.
Keep clicking the comments. I thought it was a free for all. To be honest, I thought we'd just.
I haven't been clicking the comments.
Oh, Jay, hurry up!
I think you're mistaken there, my friend. Anyway. Only a few people went for a
so
draw.
aggressive.
I'm not going to read all of it out. I am quite angry. Gilly went 1-1. Luke, you went 1-1 apparently. Stats also went 1-1. I don't think anybody else went for the draw, so that leaves us with...
I went for a loss, to be fair.
Yeah, you Leeds 18 bastard.
Nope,
top of the table, it's basically Gilly on 16, Just Joe on 15, Jer on 15, followed by Carl 13, then you, Luke, on 12. And down the bottom, it's Smarty on 3 points and Andrea on 5 points just above him. Stats has pulled away with a couple.
To be fair, it's only because he's a bald shithouse and didn't give me 5. Rightly 5 points for the prediction the other week, but whatever. I won't be at bottom.
Here we go.
So, anyway, a moment ago, I decided to tell you, and the reason I mentioned that I was arguing in Spanish is because I decided to stick up for Bielsa. We all seen what's going on at the moment with Bielsa and Uruguay. Didn't know much about it all that much, so I had a chat with Diana, who's a Leeds fan.
You didn't know much about it, but you were arguing anyway.
No.
In Spanish.
I did afterwards, yeah.
In Spanish,
yeah. So yeah, I was telling him to suck your mum in Spanish and all this sort of stuff, and saying that they're all racists and all this sort of stuff because they were racist sympathisers for picking up for Suarez and Anyway, I didn't know that much about it, so we've all seen what's going on. You've probably seen flashes of it all over social media. So I asked Diana to sum it up for us, and she has done very perfectly. So we've got a quick voice message thing here from Diana.
I really hope this works.
So do I.
It'll work. And then we'll go into talk about our thoughts on it. Poor Bielsa.
Hey guys, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks, Luke, for the invitation, and forgive me if you don't understand my English. It's the first time I speak in a podcast that is not in Spanish. So we have to talk about Luis Suarez's statements about Marcelo Bielsa. In case you didn't know, Suarez is retiring from the Uruguay national team. And a few days ago, he gave some interviews where he said that Bielsa had a very bad relationship with the squad. According to Suarez's words, Bielsa's bad attitude with the players made the day-to-day life very tense. From what I understand, this was worse during the Copa America. Yesterday, Fede Valverde commented on this situation and said that everything Suarez has said before was true. José Jimenez, the Atletico Madrid player, said that he did not expect Suarez's statements and that he and the rest of his teammates supported the coach, but that it was true that there were issues that needed to be resolved. I think this is a very strange attitude considering that Uruguay are doing very well with Bielsa as coach, but we have to wait to find out more information. So some sources said that Bielsa has not taken the players' words badly and that there will be a meeting to resolve these issues.
Thank you so much. Yeah, go give Diana a follow. She's a massive Leeds fan, massive Bielsa widow, follows him all over, and she knows loads more than we do about the situations down in South America. So thank you again for doing that, Diana Morales. But yeah, what do we all make of this? Because obviously Suarez is some big name, and he's we know Bielsa well. I would say over the three and a bit years that he was here, we got to know him. Change the whole view and the atmosphere of the city, not just a club, and now we're hearing that actually he's telling his players that they can't go speak to catering staff, to fans, and stuff like that, which almost is the polar opposite to what we expect, isn't it?
How would Suarez know? Because he's not in the team.
No, he was he's obviously in the team. He's just looking for a bite, apparently. Mark says. Great question.
Is it? I mean, is he no longer in the team? Has he been?
He's retired. He's retired. So what's happened is, essentially, yeah, they're saying that Bielsa's this monster that doesn't let him do anything, and Suarez has come out and Valverde supported him, who's now the current captain, and one or two others as well. But Natalie Dragon here has decided to join. Thanks for joining, Natalie, whoever you are. She's out in Uruguay, and despite Suarez being a hero, there are a lot still on Bielsa's side. So, so yeah, it just doesn't sound very. It sounds very uncharacteristic of what we've learned about Marcelo in his time. Time with us certainly, and previously. You look at every club he's been to previously, and people almost worship the ground. You listen to the words that come out of people like Pep's mouth and various others around what a great coach is, what a great person and great philosophies he's got, the money he put into Newell's old boys, and it just doesn't add up. Something doesn't add up. So I thought we'd have a bit of a chat, simply because we haven't got a game for 2 weeks and we need to pad this out a little bit, but also that it's quite interesting. Something's going wrong somewhere, and Diana actually said we need to wait for more information to come out. There's rumours that the Uruguay fans don't like Marcelo because he's an outsider. They're not used to having a foreign manager.
I'm sure.
Also that they can't afford his wages as well. So lots and lots of different rumours coming out. And we're talking about South America, one of the most corrupt areas of the planet in terms when it comes to football, and in fact anything. Let's be honest. But what are your thoughts on it? Do we? I mean, obviously we stand on Bielsa's side, right?
Of course. I think what's more likely to have happened is he's gone in there and he's put his foot down with a bunch of prima donna players and they don't like it, basically. He's tried to humble them a little bit.
And it's a coup. They're trying to get him out.
They're like, who's this guy making us actually do stuff, telling us that we have to have a code of conduct and do this and do that.
Got to be fitter because I'm a fat, lazy shite like Valverde. Yeah. Bryn's already said in comments how much of a whining little bitch that he is. There will be a load of prima donnas. It's right what you say. And Bielsa being the absolute god that he is, will be expecting those players to, attain a certain level of fitness, to conduct themselves properly, etc., etc. Yeah, exactly. He's a proper gentleman. He's not an arsehole like Marcelo. The whole money thing about him not being able to afford his wages and shit. That guy probably I'm not saying he would do totally, but that would be right at the bottom of his frigging priority list. That being paid.
He doesn't need the money, does he?
He's not interested in that shit.
don't care.
You know, I very highly doubt it. And the fact that, you know, Uruguay are doing so well internationally now, I can't see that the fans will be totally anti-Bielsa. You know, it just seems, you know, you've already said it, Jay. I just think it's a load of arseholes that have probably turned against him. Maybe because he said, look, you're not good enough, or, you know, we don't need you now, or, you know, the team's changing.
It's probably told people they're not going to automatically get picked, and they don't like that.
Yeah. There's more to it, I think.
Stuff. Dave Rouser makes a great point here. He defended the team when they were scrapping the stands. He defended them against FIFA in the Copa America. It was against Colombia, I think, wasn't it? And he defended them against everybody.
That when Nunes went mental.
That's right. Yeah. And look, if Jose Gimenez, just to elaborate on what Natalie said about players supporting him, Jose Gimenez, I think from Atletico Madrid, and he's a centre back from there, or he was there. I don't know where he is now. I always support the manager 100%, and that was clear in every game. My relationship with Bielsa is professional. He's my coach. I'm a pawn. We are grateful to him. He gives us many tools. So it's probably 6-1 after a dozen other. Suarez has probably got told something that he didn't want to hear from Bielsa. Get fitter or you won't play or whatever. And he's just trying to rally his cooks up. Do you know what I mean? And it's just an awkward situation. And it's one that Marcelo might well walk away from. We know. It'd
be funny if he did. It would be funny. I mean, obviously, I've got no loyalty to them over there. You know, I would laugh my ass off if he just went, tell you what then, see you in a bit, which he will do, because he don't, like I say, he literally don't give a shit. And just fucks off, and they just turn to absolute rat shit again. It'd be hilarious. Yeah. Who's laughing now, dickheads? Yeah, exactly.
Serve them right.
Beating Brazil and Argentina for the first time in bloody decades.
I know.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
It's a shame, because obviously we don't want to see him, and he's looking really well as well. He looked like he was enjoying it being back out in South America from what we'd seen and that. But look,
it's because he's off at Costa and Greg's.
Yeah, I'm sure more and more will come out, and I've got lots of bookmarks in Spanish that I'm looking forward to replying to. So
excellent.
Via Google Translate.
Clive, I'm not about this fat shaming and stuff, mate. So
Jesus!
Carry on, and you'll be
out. You audible swine! I don't think we're calling you fat.
No, he wasn't. He was calling Dan fat, whoever Dan is. Anyway, let's move on.
Dan Moylan from the Square Ball.
I don't know why he's called him that.
Clive's usually really nice as well. That's totally out of character from Clive. Maybe Suarez has got hold of Clive's account as well. Fucking know what's going on.
Right, let's move on to my favourite bit.
Hey, has got a shit tick this week, my little spat of fact.
This is obviously the part of the show which we do every week, where we ask you all to send in the biggest shit takes that you have come across over the last week or two since the last show. Gents, have you got any for me? I've got a couple in the brand from a couple of people on our new shit take of week, which is linked to
Catchy.
Shit take of week.
Is that one? Yep. So then we got the first one.
It just sounds like you've misspelt it on me. Like, shit take off week. Oh shit! I missed that.
You can't write in the letters.
I do have something for you, but I'll wait till you've done yours. Well,
keep it to yourself for now. Willie Longtoe. This is. I don't know if that's a real name or it's an unfortunate name. But yeah, Florian Plettenberg has announced today yesterday, that Frankfurt were looking at actually buying Christensen for some reason or other for 8 to 10 million. And Willie Longtoe says, we are such a weird club. Let him go on loan and replace him with 2 fullbacks that aren't as good. He's still the best right back we have. Strange to sell him.
This is what we're told Longtoe's saying, is it?
It's got to be a wind up.
Christ.
And Luke, who's a watcher of this show, has said, if this isn't bait, and he's tagged in our new shit take of week. So we've put that
lad.
Thank you, Luke.
Yeah, that's a pretty shit take. We have got not that one.
Oh, fuck.
I think this one. Yeah, East Leeds lad. I'm not sure if you watched this or not. Noto, having what is this is at the weekend, having technically called a mare. I don't know why that's technically. But Rothwell and Tanaka look like they've come in on loan from Stockport and never played football before. Another very, very shit take.
Wow.
From my eyes.
That's strong.
Yeah, and then I think I've got one more for you.
Do you need your readers on, Luke?
I do, mate. I do. But yeah, Gilly sent this one in. So Ian Ryan says 2 international breaks before we've reached 8 league games is just nonsense. Refuse to believe anyone still thinks it's a good idea. Well, Nath Jones 16 seems to think it was a very good idea because over 10,000 English fans applied for Greece away and will also play at sold out Wembley. Wales will sold out Iceland away and home game will have around 30k. No doubt Scotland have done the same. In fact, grounds all around Europe will be full for internationals. So in short, yes.
People in going to watch other football because normal football's not on shock.
Yeah.
That's poor.
Nice shit takes them.
So, gents, we've any more to add to those before I do a short poll?
Yeah, my one is the Sunderland fans pouring out of the place on 81 minutes or whatever it was. Absolutely diabolical, and they deserve to miss what happened at the end.
Is that a shit take, is it?
It's a shit take leaving on 80 minutes. It's a shit take leaving on 80 minutes.
Have you ever left early, Jay?
Never.
Are you sure?
Promise you.
Are you sure? I don't believe you.
No, I have. There were a game where everyone fucked off, and I remember saying to you, "I've never left early, but I nearly did that day." And it were last season. I can't remember which match it was though, and you'd gone, I think, and I was just like sat there like on my seat, just in disbelief.
I
can't remember what game.
I'm saying, mate, I don't leave early.
One of others then, if it wasn't you.
Not anymore. The last time I did, I can't remember who we played, and it was when McDermott were manager. And that was the last time I left. I just walked out at half time. I can't remember. We were losing 4-1 or something at half time.
I think I've stayed in the bar.
I just fucking walked out. I went, sod this.
I've stayed in bar once or twice, but I've never left the ground.
Yeah, well.
Right.
Want Spurs.
Anyway, the shit take of the week is now live. The poll, so that's now on your screens, and you can all have your votes, and we'll revisit that in a short while, and we will let you all know who is the shittest taker of the week.
I think this comment's about us, lads, from Michael Broders. These Muppets have to be smoking fucking crack.
I think he's on about the people the shit takes. But yeah, quite possibly.
It could be us. It could be us.
That's why I thought I'd better check.
Yep.
Cool. Just flying through a few more. Them great. Right.
Have you gone through all your starred comments? Have you?
Oh, yeah, I've got through not all of them. Clive says, Meslier, this could have been a shit take of the week, Clive. Well done. Meslier is a better goalkeeper than Farke is a manager.
Oh, get out, Clive. You're just this up now.
This isn't the same Clive I thought it was. It's your mate, Clive, isn't it? He's your mate, isn't he? Yeah.
Is it your mate, this, Jay?
No. It's Clive
and Steve Brown says
that gets himself booted off every other channel.
Just as we were bigging up Rothwell. With great timing, because he hates Rothwell, doesn't he?
He hates Rothwell, and he will double down on that as well.
He will
double down on that as well. He could win the fucking Ballon d'Or, and he would still say Rothwell was shit because he's that much of a dick.
He could lift up the championship trophy and Gilead boo.
yeah, he would do. He'd turn his back. He'd be like them Arsenal. But like that Arsenal fan, I can't remember who scored. Was it Kieran Dyer or someone scored him? I'm not celebrating because the Tottenham player had scored. You sad bastard. Yeah. Oh dear.
Moving on. Then we've got a couple more little bits to cover, and a bit of interesting news here. When I can find it. Oh, me, my eyes are bad, aren't they?
Are you Meslier in disguise?
There we go. Thoughts on this?
Specs in the morning.
Thoughts on this? Because obviously Solomon was named to go away on international duty. We all asked the question, what the fuck's going on? He's been injured for 4 games. Why is he going on international duty? And now it's been said that he's not going on international duty at all. Which is obviously a positive.
He nurses hamstring problems. I haven't seen him been put like that before. I've seen he's in rehabilitation, etc. And he's getting massaged. No, I don't think so. I think he is close to coming back from what I can gather, but I don't think
he's broke him.
He's broke himself. I think he's made a paper mache, ain't he?
Sure, yeah. Imagine being that good.
We knew. Well, that's why he's on loan to us. You're not playing for Tottenham.
Like he did Rutterbryn. He did. And he actually, if I remember rightly, very, very long time ago, when we first signed Rodrigo and Raf, I think he made similar claims to them too.
He said Rutter wasn't a footballer, didn't
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. He was shit and blah blah blah. And, yeah.
I mean,
he's made quite a few wild claims, but it won't. You know, like his vitriol that he was spewing all fucking pre-season, etc. You know, letting the devil in and all that sort of shit. Fucking honestly.
Yeah.
Bless
it
him.
helps me Spanish apparently, looking at the screen like that. But it doesn't. I just use Google Translate, and probably makes no sense to them. They're probably like, "What a fucking dick." Don't even mean what he's on about. Anyway, yes,
Man City.
So yes, Solomon and DJ potentially back for week Friday, which should be positive. You know, we've missed them both. Let's just hope, fingers crossed, nobody else gets injured on this international break, because that'd be the worst, wouldn't it?
Will there be super subs, won't they? They won't be coming back in and starting.
They won't come straight in, no, but they're good options to have at 60, 70.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of putting Aronson out on the wing, and you know, he's just got better options, haven't we?
Yeah.
Right, the other thing I wanted to go on, sorry.
I was say, I like this from Danny. Luke gets any closer to the screen, he'll be in the chat.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah, wicked. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about, which isn't really Leeds related, I don't suppose, but it's we can touch on it because I know Gilly would love this section.
Gilly would have a full fucking Excel spreadsheet, paragraphed, pinpointed, the whole lot right now. He'd be sat there with a semi, fully stalked up, ready for this bit.
He'll be using a VLOOKUP on his Excel spreadsheet.
He'd be warming himself up now. Go on.
Yes. So it's around the Associated Party transaction, the APT, and both sides, both the Premier League and Man City, claiming that they've both won this case, which is absolute madness.
Madness.
Did we expect City to get punished even at all, really, with the amount of lawyers that they probably took into court and everything?
Nope.
You know what I mean? The amount of money they can spend on a lawyer, and you know, I'd never expected them to actually get relegated or anything like that. I don't know about you.
I'm surprised that City haven't ended up being owed money and, you know, given more titles or something like that. You know, because that's how it is, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't know a great deal about this. I've not read anything about this verdict yet. I've just not had a chance, so I don't really know much about what's actually going on.
This is when you see the live viewers start going. When we get into this shit, we don't give a fucking shit about this.
Other than I sit opposite a City fan at work, and he's claiming victory. So
yeah,
it is quite important. It is a bit. Well, it could be potentially for everyone, you know, in future. I have actually looked into it a little bit because I knew about it, but I didn't know much about it. So what they're basically saying is these APTs, what Luke abbreviated, so is Associated Party Transaction Rules, is basically summed up like this: the Premier League's rules require any club, its players, manager, or senior official to run dealings with associated parties past them. Associated parties are companies or people who have a significant interest in the relevant club, financially or otherwise. The Premier League's board then reviews each transaction to assess whether it believes they are present at a fair market value. They represent a fair market value, sorry. The league says the rule helps to build fairness across the division by ending a reliance on enhanced commercial revenues linked to the club's ownership. So basically what it stops people doing is, say Man City, for example, are owned by Etihad or whatever it is. It stops them basically giving themselves a sponsorship deal for maybe like a shirt sponsorship deal, which would typically be 60 to 100 million. It stops them doing, or supposedly stops them getting like a 200 or 300 million deal because it inflates that monetary value. And basically what it's done is blow it wide open. So anyone that's owned by, say, Newcastle or owned by the Saudis, etc., gives them an opportunity to basically inflate the sponsorship deals, which can then bypass financial fair play and profit and sustainability rules. It basically blows the fucking back end of this. So, you know, in some cases it could potentially be good for certain ones that are owned by good or well-valued owners that have got plenty of money. In other cases it could be bad, you know, depending on what your revenues are, etc., etc. But I think on the whole it's probably bad for football. For us, you know, personally with 49ers and the absolute shit amount of money that they sit on, it could be good. You know, all of a sudden your Red Bull, you know, deals could be worth a hell of a lot more, and whatever else of the sponsorship stuff. So on one hand, it could be really good, you know, maybe greedily or, you know, whatever. But you know, on the whole, it's probably a bad thing.
Like most rules in football, if you're rich, it's great. If you're not, it's shit.
That's basically exactly it. But I think they've been doing it for anyway, because you look at them top frigging 3, 4, 5 teams, they're all doing it anyway. You know, no one can go anywhere near them. So,
well, even Derby did it. It's the old stadium back to the cells for inflate.
That's exactly what it is.
That were when they had the Football League on strings.
Yeah.
Fucking knobheads.
But yeah, it's worth noting that Bryn is right that it is separate to the 115 charges for breaching financial regulations. So we will wait and see. Both sides claiming victory. Who gives a shit? Not us, because we're not in the Premier League yet. But it just sort of proves that if you have got enough money, you can spend enough money on barristers and solicitors, that you probably get away with anything. Look at Mason Greenwood. Anyway, what was it? Moving on.
What was interesting though, Luke, was the witnesses called that you showed before you do move on. I didn't get a chance to say it before you said moving on. The witnesses that they called, like Chelsea and Newcastle, Liver team, and there was one more.
I did. I've got a banner. I've got a branding here.
Of course, Newcastle will do.
So I just wonder, as witnesses, like I was saying to you guys, I'm not sure what that actually entails. Do you think they're coming in to sort of corroborate the value of sponsorship deals or something?
To what?
To corroborate.
That's a big word. You're going to have to explain a big word to Luke.
So they can confirm that what City are saying it's worth is what it's actually worth. They're matching their stuff.
It's like due diligence, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Everton, they're like, fucking hell, we need this role, lads. Come on, we're going to stand up for him. Come on, we need it. Got to pump some fucking cash in.
Fucking right. Have they even got a new owner yet, Everton? They're absolutely screwed out of them.
Almost. Yeah, it's in the process.
Chelsea, Newcastle, Notts Forest, and Everton acted as witnesses for City, but apparently Forest voted on Man City's side, but didn't get involved with the APT case. Oh, okay. So it's getting messy, and like you say, if you've got enough money, you could do pretty much what you want, which is scary, I think, because the rich get richer and the bigger get bigger, and it's just going to create more and more of a gap ultimately in it. Cool. Any question? Any more business to talk about, or before we start sort of closing out? Anybody want to talk about any of the lads going away on internationals, or should we wait till they've played, or do you know what I mean?
I think wait till they've played, mate, and make sure no one gets injured before we start kicking off about that one.
Yep. Just pray none of them come back in crutches.
To say if anyone gets hurt.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just hope we do stay relatively. Bryn made a point there that where has it gone? That they're going to be. Where's it gone? Jet lagged or something? I think he said.
Tanaka and someone else. Oh yeah, Aronson. Yeah.
Traveling around the world. But yes.
Oh, Tanaka went to play in Australia, didn't he? Or in Japan against Australia, or one of the two. He's either gone to Australia or Japan, and either way, it's fucking miles away.
It seems as though he plays for Japan.
Seeing as though he's Japanese, it might be in Japan. Yeah.
It's Japan playing against Australia, I'm saying, but I can't remember which venue it's at.
So it's probably going to be Australia or Japan then.
What's a few hours between things?
Going insane.
How little are your arms?
Little, mate.
How short are they?
Come on!
Not Wreck-It Ralph, innit?
Got a wreck. Anyway, before we do end, we do like to obviously go over any AMC events. Do you want to take that away from me, Smarty?
Oh, really? Fucking hell, I can't see that shit.
Just dropped it on you.
Do you want to take it away, Smarty? Because he's basically done it so you don't have to lean into chat again.
I can't
read that.
I can see it.
Couch 5K with rerunners at Woodhouse on Wednesday the 9th, which is tomorrow. Couch 5K with recovery runners at Woodhouse again on the 16th. Pool night at Northern Snooker Centre at Kirkstall on the 18th. Couch to 5K recovery runners on the 23rd. And they've got another Couch to 5K on the 30th. That is what's coming up with Andy's Man Club Leeds. And that's a bloody wrap. Well done, chaps. I'm really proud of you both.
I'm proud of me for getting here after this sodding PC tried to sabotage me.
Any other business?
You could sabotage yourself.
I could.
No, it's going to be a quiet weekend. International's on. It's going to be shy. I think I'm just going to go for a walk around Dales, to be fair, on Sunday.
Oh, Steve, great point. What's won the shit take? That is very, very important.
I'm glad someone's switched on around
It's a well-oiled machine, this, honestly.
So we've had... so international breaks are ace, got 16%. Noto, Tanaka and Rothwell are here on loan, got 35%, and a way out winner, Christensen being the best right back in Europe, got 48%. And that gives you this week
Hey, oh, has got a shit tick this week, my little sparrowfat.
So, yeah, in future, if you want to share your shit take, as Luke did, and he shared one and got his put on here because he knows how to work it, you've got to follow at shit take of week because we don't have the and tag us in it, and we'll bring it up next week. We'll be back this time next week. I don't think there'll be any. Well, there's no need to do any Brady and Cokes due to there being no games. So do enjoy your weeks. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. Be good. Don't do anything Jay won't do with a Barbie doll. Bye bye.